There is a place where the ocean glows in endless shades of blue, where the reef stretches beyond the horizon like an underwater kingdom. Where life begins in silence, cradled in the soft sway of the sea, embraced by the warmth of the Caribbean. Alive, vibrant, majestic. This is Roatan. The Mesoamerican Reef ecoregion cradles the second largest barrier reef system in the world, the Great Mayan Reef. Roatan accounts for approximately 7% of its total length. The reef surrounds the island. It stretches along its entire northern coast and around the western and southern tips. And it's teeming with life. The coral formations are classic spur and groove structures, separated by sandy channels. The swim-throughs and overhangs often house resting fish, like this nurse shark, blending with sand and shadow. Above, these formations are adorned with vibrant soft corals, swaying sea fans, and clusters of tube sponges. Numerous remarkable species thrive in these waters. Like this hawksbill turtle, one of many fascinating creatures found here. This critically endangered species finds refuge in these waters. In these crystal waters, where visibility stretches for over 100 feet, ancient coral structures rise like monuments. Is home to a spectacle of life that defies imagination. Just beyond the reef's edge, where the sunlight dims and the seafloor drops away, lies a different kind of wonder. El Águila shipwreck was a 230 feet stout freighter. Long ago, she sailed under Caribbean skies, carrying her heavy cargo across endless blue. But one night, she foundered and sank. The ship was salvaged and brought to the island of Pila, but in 1997, she was deliberately sunk again to create an artificial reef. Today, El Águila lies still 110 feet down, a massive graveyard of forgotten tales beneath the very waters she once crossed with pride. Once lost to the sea, she is now an eternal part of it. Yet far from being abandoned, she lives once more, teeming with color and life. The reefs near this shipwreck are primarily fringing reefs that extend directly from the shoreline. Stretching from the shallow coastal waters to deeper areas, these formations feature a gradual slope filled with tunnels and swim-throughs, opening into a vibrant reef garden, patrolled by stoplight parrotfish. Just off Roatan's West Bay, the reef features a dramatic underwater landscape. The top of the wall is a gently sloping reef plateau, scattered with coral heads and sandy patches. Hawksbill turtles use these calm zones for shelter and feeding. They are particularly dependent on healthy reef systems because they feed largely on sponges, which are abundant on coral structures. The lifespan of a hawksbill turtle is typically 30 to 50 years in the wild. Their long life cycle and slow maturity make them particularly vulnerable to threats like poaching and habitat loss, as populations recover very slowly. As we move deeper into the reef, the light dims and the colors grow richer. In this twilight zone, giant barrel sponges begin to appear. These are some of the largest and longest living residents of the coral reef. They're often called the lungs of the reef because of how efficiently they filter water. A single large barrel sponge can filter over 24,000 liters of seawater per day. They do this by drawing water through tiny pores, trapping bacteria, plankton, and organic particles for food, and then expelling clean water through the central opening called diosculum. Sponge barrels are not the only big thing around. Consider the channel clinging crab, the largest native crab in the Caribbean. These crustaceans are known for their strong claws and their habit of clinging to rocky reef crevices where they feed on algae and detritus. Descending deeper along the wall, the underwater environment begins to transform. Marine life, though abundant, becomes more elusive, inviting a keener eye and greater awareness. At ocean depths, marine equilibrium is vital to the health of the entire marine ecosystem, including life near the surface. The deep sea environments serve as stabilizers and support systems for oceanic balance. They regulate the nutrient cycle and carbon sequestration, serve as a biodiversity buffer, and play a fundamental role in thermal and chemical regulation. In essence, the deep ocean is like the foundation of a building, invisible from the top, but key for everything above to stand strong. This symbiosis showcases the interconnectedness of marine life, where survival often depends not just on individual strength, but on close cooperation between species. As the sun slips behind the horizon, the underwater landscape prepares for a very different world. At night, Roatan's reef wakes up in a whole new way. As many reef inhabitants switch roles, the reef transforms into a nocturnal theater of stealth and surprise. Needless to say, the marine life in this region is both abundant and diverse. These nutrient-rich waters, combined with warm tropical currents, offer a wide variety of marine organisms and species. Additionally, decades of conservation efforts and the establishment of marine parks have helped to preserve this ecological treasure, highlighting the importance of protecting our oceans. Bay Islanders have a saying, "We live by the sea, and the sea lives in us." A simple phrase that carries the depth of generations. It reminds us that life on Roatan isn't just shaped by the sea, it's inseparable from it. The rhythms of the tides echo in the hearts of the people, and the salt air lives in their stories. To truly know Roatan is to understand this bond, where the ocean is not just a backdrop, but a way of life.